Chapter 11. Now when Athaliah, the mother of Ahaziah, saw that her son was dead, she arose and destroyed all the royal seed. But Jehosheba, the daughter of King Joram, sister of Ahaziah, took Joash the son of Ahaziah, and stole him away from among the king's sons who were slain, even him and his nurse, and put them in the bedchamber, and they hid him from Athaliah, so that he was not slain. He was with her hid in the house of the Lord 6 years. Athaliah reigned over the land. In the 7th year Jehoiada sent, and brought the captains over hundreds of the Kerites and of the guard, and brought them to the house of the Lord. And he made a covenant with them, and took an oath of them in the house of the Lord, and showed them the king's son. He commanded them, saying, This is the thing you shall do. A third part of you who come in on the Sabbath shall be keepers of the watch of the king's house. A third part shall be at the gate Sur, and a third part at the gate behind the guard. So shall you keep the watch of the house, and be a barrier. The 2 companies of you, even all who go forth on the Sabbath, shall keep the watch of the house of the Lord about the king. You shall compass the king round about, every man with his weapons in his hand, and he who comes within the ranks let him be slain, and be with the king when he goes out, and when he comes in. The captains over hundreds did according to all that Jehoiada the priest commanded, and they took every man his men, those who were to come in on the Sabbath, with those who were to go out on the Sabbath, and came to Jehoiada the priest. The priest delivered to the captains over hundreds the spears and the shields that had been King David's, which were in the house of the Lord. The guard stood, every man with his weapons in his hand, from the right side of the house to the left side of the house, along by the altar, and the house by the king round about. Then he brought out the king's son, and put the crown on him, and gave him the testimony. And they made him king, and anointed him, and they clapped their hands, and said, Long live the king! When Athaliah heard the noise of the guard and of the people, she came to the people into the house of the Lord. And she looked, and behold, the king stood by the pillar, as the manner was, and the captains and the trumpets by the king, and all the people of the land rejoiced and blew trumpets. Then Athaliah tore her clothes, and cried, Treason! Treason! Jehoiada the priest commanded the captains of the hundreds who were set over the host, and said to them, Bring her forth between the ranks, and let him who follows her kill her with the sword. For the priest said, Don't let her be slain in the house of the Lord. So they made way for her, and she went by the way of the horse's entry to the king's house, and there she was slain. Jehoiada made a covenant between the Lord and the king and the people, that they should be the Lord's people, between the king also and the people. All the people of the land went to the house of Baal and broke it down. His altars and his images they broke in pieces thoroughly, and killed Matan the priest of Baal before the altars. The priest appointed officers over the house of the Lord. He took the captains over hundreds, and the Kerites and the guards, and all the people of the land, and they brought down the king from the house of the Lord, and came by the way of the gate of the guard to the king's house. He sat on the throne of the kings. So all the people of the land rejoiced, and the city was quiet. Athaliah they had slain with the sword at the king's house. Jehoash was 7 years old when he began to reign. Chapter 12. In the 7th year of Jehu, Joash began to reign, and he reigned 40 years in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Zabiah of Beersheba. Jehoash did that which was right in the eyes of the Lord all his days, in which Jehoiada the priest instructed him. However, the high places were not taken away. The people still sacrificed and burnt incense in the high places. Jehoash said to the priest, All the money of the holy things that is brought into the house of the Lord in current money, the money of persons for whom each man is rated, and all the money that comes into any man's heart to bring into the house of the Lord, let the priest take it to them, every man from his acquaintance, and they shall repair the breaches of the house, wherever any breach shall be found. But it happened that in the 23rd year of King Jehoash, the priest had not repaired the breaches of the house. Then King Jehoash called for Jehoiada the priest, and for the other priests, and said to them, Why don't you repair the breaches of the house? Now therefore take no more money from your acquaintance, but deliver it for the breaches of the house. The priest consented that they should take no more money from the people, neither repair the breaches of the house. But Jehoiada the priest took a chest, and bored a hole in the lid of it, and set it beside the altar, on the right side as one comes into the house of the Lord. And the priest who kept the threshold put in it all the money that was brought into the house of the Lord. It happened, when they saw that there was so much money in the chest, that the king's scribe and high priest came up, and they put it in bags and counted the money that was found in the house of the Lord. They gave the money that was weighed out into the hands of those who did the work, who had the oversight of the Lord's house, and they paid it out to the carpenters and the builders who worked on the house of the Lord, and to the masons and the stone cutters, and for buying timber and hewn stone, to repair the breaches of the house of the Lord, and for all that was laid out for the house to repair it. But there were not made for the house of the Lord cups of silver, snuffers, basins, trumpets, any vessels of gold or vessels of silver, of the money that was brought into the house of the Lord, for they gave that to those who did the work, and repaired the house of the Lord. Moreover, they didn't demand an accounting from the men into whose hand they delivered the money to give to those who did the work, for they dealt faithfully. The money for the trespass offerings and the money for the sin offerings was not brought into the house of the Lord, it belonged to the priest. Then Hazael king of Syria went up and fought against Gath and took it, and Hazael set his face to go up to Jerusalem. Joash king of Judah took all the holy things that Jehoshaphat and Jehoram and Ahaziah his fathers, kings of Judah, had dedicated, and his own holy things, and all the gold that was found in the treasures of the house of the Lord and of the king's house, and sent it to Hazael king of Syria, and he went away from Jerusalem. Now the rest of the acts of Joash, and all that he did, aren't they written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? His servants rose and made a conspiracy, and struck Joash at the house of Milo, on the way that goes down to Silla. For Jozachar, the son of Shimeath, and Jehozabad, the son of Shomer, his servants, struck him, and he died. And they buried him with his fathers in the city of David, and Amaziah his son reigned in his place. Chapter 13. In the 23rd year of Joash, the son of Ahaziah king of Judah, Jehoahaz the son of Jehu began to reign over Israel in Samaria, and he reigned 17 years. He did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, and followed the sins of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, with which he made Israel to sin. He didn't depart from it. The anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel, and he delivered them into the hand of Hazael king of Syria, and into the hand of Benhadad the son of Hazael continually. Jehoahaz begged the Lord, and the Lord listened to him, for he saw the oppression of Israel, how that the king of Syria oppressed them. The Lord gave Israel a Savior, so that they went out from under the hand of the Syrians, and the children of Israel lived in their tents as before. Nevertheless they didn't depart from the sins of the house of Jeroboam, with which he made Israel to sin, but walked therein, and there remained the Asherah also in Samaria. For he didn't leave to Jehoahaz of the people but 50 horsemen, and 10 chariots, and 10,000 footmen. For the king of Syria destroyed them and made them like the dust in the threshing. Now the rest of the acts of Jehoahaz, and all that he did, and his might, aren't they written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? Jehoahaz slept with his fathers, and they buried him in Samaria, and Jehoash his son reigned in his place. In the 37th year of Joash king of Judah began Jehoash the son of Jehoahaz to reign over Israel in Samaria, and he reigned 16 years. He did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord. He didn't depart from all the sins of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, with which he made Israel to sin, but he walked in them. Now the rest of the acts of Jehoash, and all that he did, and his might with which he fought against Amaziah king of Judah, aren't they written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? Jehoash slept with his fathers, and Jeroboam sat on his throne, and Jehoash was buried in Samaria with the kings of Israel. Now Elisha had become ill from the sickness of which he died, and Jehoash the king of Israel came down to him and wept over him, and said, my father, the chariots of Israel and its horsemen." Elisha said to him, "Take a bow and arrows." And he picked up a bow and arrows. He said to the king of Israel, "Put your hand on the bow." And he put his hand on it. Elisha laid his hands on the king's hands. He said, "Open the window eastward." And he opened it. Then Elisha said, "Shoot," and he shot. He said, "The Lord's arrow of victory, even the arrow of victory over Syria, for you shall strike the Syrians in Aphek until you have consumed them." He said, "Take the arrows," and he took them. He said to the king of Israel, "Smite the ground," and he struck 3 times and stopped. The man of God was angry with him and said, "You should have struck 5 or 6 times, then you would have struck Syria until you had consumed them, whereas now you shall strike Syria but 3 times. Elisha died, and they buried him. Now the bands of the Moabites invaded the land at the beginning of the year. It happened, as they were burying a man, that behold, they spied a band, and they cast the man into the tomb of Elisha. And as soon as the man touched the bones of Elisha, he revived, and stood up on his feet. Hazael king of Syria oppressed Israel all the days of Jehoahaz. But the Lord was gracious to them, and had compassion on them, and had respect for them, because of his covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and would not destroy them, neither cast them from his presence yet. Hazael king of Syria died, and Benhadad his son reigned in his place. Joash the son of Jehoahaz took again out of the hand of Benhadad the son of Hazael the cities which he had taken out of the hand of Jehoahaz his father by war. 3 times did Joash strike him, and recovered the cities of Israel. Chapter 14. In the 2nd year of Joash, son of Jehoahaz, king of Israel, began Amaziah, the son of Joash, king of Judah, to reign. He was 25 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 29 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Jehoaddin of Jerusalem. He did that which was right in the eyes of the Lord, yet not like David his father. He did according to all that Joash his father had done. However, the high places were not taken away. The people still sacrificed and burnt incense in the high places. It happened, as soon as the kingdom was established in his hand, that he killed his servants who had slain the king his father. But the children of the murderers he didn't put to death, according to that which is written in the book of the law of Moses, as the Lord commanded, saying, "The fathers shall not be put to death for the children, nor the children be put to death for the fathers, but every man shall die for his own sin." He killed of Edom in the valley of Salt 10,000, and took Selah by war, and called the name of it Joktheel to this day. Then Amaziah sent messengers to Jehoash, the son of Jehoahaz, son of Jehu, king of Israel, saying, "Come, let's look one another in the face." Jehoash, the king of Israel, sent to Amaziah, king of Judah, saying, "The thistle that was in Lebanon sent to the cedar that was in Lebanon, saying, 'Give your daughter to my son as a wife.' And there passed by a wild animal that was in Lebanon, and trod down the thistle. You have indeed struck Edom, and your heart has lifted you up. Glory in your victory, but abide at home. For why should you meddle to your hurt that you should fall, even you and Judah with you?" But Amaziah would not listen. So Jehoash, king of Israel, went up. He and Amaziah, king of Judah, looked one another in the face at Bethshemesh, which belongs to Judah. Judah was put to the worse before Israel, and they fled every man to his tent. Jehoash, king of Israel, took Amaziah, king of Judah, the son of Joash, the son of Ahaziah, at Bethshemesh, and came to Jerusalem, and broke down the wall of Jerusalem from the gate of Ephraim to the corner gate, 400 cubits. He took all the gold and silver, and all the vessels that were found in the house of the Lord, and in the treasures of the king's house, the hostages also, and returned to Samaria. Now the rest of the acts of Jehoash which he did, and his might, and how he fought with Amaziah king of Judah, aren't they written in the books of the chronicles of the kings of Israel? Jehoash slept with his fathers, and was buried in Samaria with the kings of Israel, and Jeroboam his son reigned in his place. Amaziah the son of Joash, king of Judah, lived after the death of Jehoash son of Jehoahaz, king of Israel, 15 years. Now the rest of the acts of Amaziah, aren't they written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? They made a conspiracy against him in Jerusalem, and he fled to Lachish, but they sent after him to Lachish and killed him there. They brought him on horses, and he was buried in Jerusalem with his fathers in the city of David. All the people of Judah took Azariah, who was 16 years old, and made him king in the place of his father Amaziah. He built Elath, and restored it to Judah. After that the king slept with his fathers. In the 15th year of Amaziah the son of Joash, king of Judah, Jeroboam the son of Jehoash, king of Israel, began to reign in Samaria, and he reigned 41 years. He did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord. He didn't depart from all the sins of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, with which he made Israel to sin. He restored the border of Israel from the entrance of Hamath to the sea of the Arabah, according to the word of the Lord, the God of Israel, which he spoke by his servant Jonah the son of Amittai the prophet, who was of Gath-hepher. For the Lord saw the affliction of Israel, that it was very bitter, for there was none shut up, nor left at large, neither was there any helper for Israel. The Lord didn't say that he would blot out the name of Israel from under the sky, but he saved them by the hand of Jeroboam the son of Jehoash. Now the rest of the acts of Jeroboam, and all that he did, and his might, how he warred, and how he recovered Damascus and Hamath, which had belonged to Judah for Israel, aren't they written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? Jeroboam slept with his fathers, even with the kings of Israel, and Zechariah his son reigned in his place. Chapter 15. In the 27th year of Jeroboam king of Israel, Azariah the son of Amaziah king of Judah began to reign. He was 16 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 52 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Jechaliah of Jerusalem. He did that which was right in the eyes of the Lord, according to all that his father Amaziah had done. However, the high places were not taken away. The people still sacrificed and burnt incense in the high places. The Lord struck the king, so that he was a leper to the day of his death, and lived in a separate house. Jotham the king's son was over the household, judging the people of the land. Now the rest of the acts of Azariah, and all that he did, aren't they written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? Azariah slept with his fathers, and they buried him with his fathers in the city of David, and Jotham his son reigned in his place. In the 38th year of Azariah king of Judah did Zechariah the son of Jeroboam reign over Israel in Samaria 6 months. He did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, as his fathers had done. He didn't depart from the sins of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, with which he made Israel to sin. Shallum the son of Jabesh conspired against him, and struck him before the people, and killed him, and reigned in his place. Now the rest of the acts of Zechariah, behold, aren't they written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? This was the word of the Lord which he spoke to Jehu, saying, Your sons to the 4th generation shall sit on the throne of Israel. So it came to pass. Shallum the son of Jabesh began to reign in the 39th year of Uzziah king of Judah, and he reigned the space of a month in Samaria. Menahem the son of Gadai went up from Tirzah, and came to Samaria, and struck Shallum the son of Jabesh in Samaria, and killed him, and reigned in his place. Now the rest of the acts of Shallum, and his conspiracy which he made, behold, they are written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel. Then Menahem struck Tirzah, and all who were in it, and the borders of it, from Tirzah, because they didn't open to him. Therefore he struck it, and all the women therein who were with child he ripped up. In the 39th year of Azariah king of Judah began Menahem the son of Gadai to reign over Israel, and he reigned 10 years in Samaria. He did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord. He didn't depart all his days from the sins of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, with which he made Israel to sin. There came against the land Pul the king of Assyria, and Menahem gave Pul 1,000 talents of silver, that his hand might be with him to confirm the kingdom in his hand. Menahem exacted the money of Israel, even of all the mighty men of wealth, of each man 50 shekels of silver, to give to the king of Assyria. So the king of Assyria turned back, and didn't stay there in the land. Now the rest of the acts of Menahem, and all that he did, aren't they written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? Menahem slept with his fathers, and Pekahiah his son reigned in his place. In the 50th year of Azariah king of Judah, Pekahiah the son of Menahem began to reign over Israel in Samaria, and he reigned 2 years. He did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord. He didn't depart from the sins of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, with which he made Israel to sin. Pekah the son of Remaliah his captain conspired against him, and struck him in Samaria, in the castle of the king's house, with Argob and Araiah. With him were 50 men of the Gileadites, and he killed him, and reigned in his place. Now the rest of the acts of Pekahiah, and all that he did, behold, they are written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel. In the 52nd year of Azariah king of Judah, Pekah the son of Remaliah began to reign over Israel in Samaria, and he reigned 20 years. He did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord. He didn't depart from the sins of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, with which he made Israel to sin. In the days of Pekah king of Israel came Tiglath-Pileser king of Assyria, and took Ijon, and Abel-Beth-Maacah, and Janoah, and Kadesh, and Hazor, and Gilead, and Galilee, all the land of Naphtali, and he carried them captive to Assyria. Hoshea the son of Elah made a conspiracy against Pekah the son of Remaliah, and struck him and killed him, and reigned in his place, in the 20th year of Jotham the son of Uzziah. Now the rest of the acts of Pekah, and all that he did, behold, they are written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel. In the 2nd year of Pekah the son of Remaliah king of Israel, began Jotham the son of Uzziah king of Judah to reign. He was 25 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 16 years in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Jerusha, the daughter of Zadok. He did that which was right in the eyes of the Lord. He did according to all that his father Uzziah had done. However, the high places were not taken away. The people still sacrificed and burned incense in the high places. He built the upper gate of the Lord's house. Now the rest of the acts of Jotham, and all that he did, aren't they written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? In those days the Lord began to send against Judah Rezin the king of Syria, and Pekah the son of Remaliah. Jotham slept with his fathers, and was buried with his fathers in the city of David his father, and Ahaz his son reigned in his place.